Ladies and gentlemen, we go over what I call one-game wonders in the NHL. It is not because he didn't have any talent. He only played one game in the other major league besides the WHA, but just factors didn't work together. But today we're going to be talking about another one of the great Stanfield brothers hockey legacy, Jack Stanfield. Now, John Stanfield, it goes by Jack, played a single game in the NHL for Chicago BlackHawks, but it wasn't in the regular season, it was in the playoffs. Now, that year he had played the majority of the season with the Buffalo Bisons of the AHL before being called up for the playoffs. Now, the left winger had only played one game year and he never made it back to the NHL. But what is interesting about this, he was a consistent minor league prospect, but didn't work out. But then the WHA opened up and he became a championship skater. We'll get into that in a second. Now, 5'11", 176, came to major prominence with the Blackhawks affiliate, the St. Catharines Teepees of the OHA, where he had 19 points in the 62 season, including 8 goals. Now, I love the name of this team, and I still say it's one of my favorite team names of all time. He eventually started his minor pro career with the Philadelphia Ramblers of the AHL, where he had 67 points in 68 games. He graduated to the St. Louis Braves of the CPHL in 64 with 23 goals in 63 games. Then 2 years again with Buffalo before making the move to Chicago. Now, like a lot of players at the time, he eventually shifted to the great WHL. He played with the LA Blades in 67 with 22 points in 47 games. Then to the Dallas Blackhawks, again, Chicago's affiliate, the CPHL, 41 points in 67 games. Back to the WHL in 69 with 27 points in 68 games for the San Diego Gulls. And then 3 straight seasons with Rochester of the AHL. With the Americans, he put up 21, 11, 11 goals over 3 seasons, 70-72. Now, with the expansion of pro hockey to include the WHA, he finally made it to the major leagues again, some 6 or 7 years after making Chicago playoffs. Played with Houston in 73, 20 points in 71 games and 1 goal in 9 playoff games. 74 was an interesting campaign for him. He played with the Macon Whoopee for 3 games, scored 6 goals in those 3 games, but had another shot with the Arrows. 41 games, 4 points. But because that year they went on a heavy playoff run, he got his name on the AFCO Cup trophy with the Gordie Howe-led squad with 7 playoff games with 2 minutes in penalties. Now, he eventually became an assistant coach for the Arrows in 67 and again kept the legacy of the Stanfield family going. Now, his brother Fred, of course, very popular player with numerous squads in the NHL, and his late brother Jim was also well respected. Just as a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, Fred had won two Stanley Cups in Boston after starting his career with Chicago. Also had a great career, almost won the Stanley Cup with the Sabres in 75. Ended his career with 211 goals. And talking about Jim, which I think Jim, again, if I'm not mistaken, he did spend most of his career with Springfield, but was also a Blackhawks prospect in the mid-1960s, where played with London of the OHA as well in the Dallas program. He played with LA over 3 seasons, 7 games, but mostly with the WHL, and also the Spokane Flyers of the WIHL, where he had a career year of 102 points in the 75 season, and again, a very, very strong centerman. And I think you can say about the Stanfields, they were extremely, extremely durable players. You look at Jim. Jim started his major junior career in 1965 and was still playing minor league hockey in 1983 with the Spokane Chiefs, when he made kind of a marginal comeback to minor pro with 17 points. But it's kind of weird if you look at young Jim Stanfield's stats. He seemed to be pretty quiet for some reason with Spokane. In '83, he only had 2 to 3 penalty minutes a season. In that final campaign, he had 145 minutes of penalties. So if you're going to go out big. So Jim, Fred, and of course Jack Stanfield. What a tradition of brothers they had. If you have a chance as well, I know with Fred Stanfield, there's various YouTube and what they call stories from his years in Chicago, Buffalo, Boston. I would, if I'm not mistaken, about Fred, he must have been. Let me check this for very simply. He said he's a clean player, as he only once received more than 14 penalty minutes in each season of his pro career. That's why I want to bring it up. The Stanfields are very quiet, so I don't know what happened with Jim in that last season, but he was part, of course, with the Chicago deal that brought Esposito to Boston. That's considered the most one-sided deals in NHL history. Now, it eventually won Boston a cup directly and indirectly. So this was the trade. Esposito, Ken Hodge for Gilles Marat, Pitt Martin, and Jack Norris. Again, you figure who got the best of that deal. And hockey history has been changed. So the Stanfield is all over the history of NHL and minor league hockey history. Thanks for listening. Bye.